Hi, sixth graders. I know right now you're reading Wonder, so I made a lesson that is Wonder inspired. It's a simple self-portrait of sorts, and it's going to be filled with words about you with just a little watercolor technique for the color in the face. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to start with a piece of paper and a pencil. Now for the watercolor, if you don't have watercolors, I'll show you another way you can do it. And if you don't have a black Sharpie, you can use black paint. If you don't have black paint, I would highly recommend drawing everything in pencil and doing your watercolor first. And then at the end, filling in with a black Crayola marker or whatever kind of marker you have. Otherwise, your watercolor is going to make your black marker bleed, kind of like my eyelashes did here. So to get started, we're going to do a simple face. Well, we're not really going to do the face, we're just going to do one eye. So we need a head shape, just a basic kind of U shape. That's not quite even. So we're going to make our head shape a basic U. If your chin is pointier or your face is more round, you can do it that way. Otherwise, just kind of a simple U shape for the head. And then we'll add ears about here. And then you need to choose your hairstyle. So if your hair sweeps to the side, if it sticks up straight, however you're going to do that, you don't want to make a top to your head because we need to have that hairline there. So let's say this is a side sweep kind of bangs. I'm going to put a part here. We'll kind of sweep hair this way, or maybe this person has a ponytail. And we can kind of round the head up here. It's kind of an uneven head. And then hair. And then maybe they have a ponytail like this. Again, this is just a silhouette. You don't need to fill it in. Silhouette meaning it's just going to be solid black. So that ponytail, that hair, is just going to be a simple kind of outline. Next, we're just going to add one eye. Again, just like the cover of Wonder, we're going to add just one eye. So I would choose whichever side of your face has the most open space. So maybe this side as opposed to this side. Doesn't really matter. But we're just going to do our basic eye shape. Fill in here. And then we'll fill in this part. And then you can add lashes. You don't have to add lashes if there's any distinguishing features that you want to add. Next thing we're going to do is, if you have a black Sharpie or black paint, we'll fill in the black first. After that, we're going to do the watercolor. If you don't have a black Sharpie, you can do the watercolor first, let it dry, and then fill in all of your black with whatever kind of black marker that you have handy. Okay, and then you'll go ahead and fill it all in with black, and I'll do that now. So now we're going to do a wet on wet technique with watercolor. And while I'm doing this, I'll just mention, if you do not have watercolors at home, you can make some by simply adding some food coloring to water. You can also take some regular washable markers, like Crayola markers, and you can stick them top down in a little jar of water, and the color will actually come out of the marker into the jar, and then you'll have a little homemade watercolor as well. You can also just use crayons or whatever you have if you don't have access to paint. No big deal. So what I'm doing with the wet on wet technique is I am simply applying a very wet area of paint or even just a little bit of water. And then I'm just going to take another color and I'm going to paint over the water, and it will spread and kind of bleed out, and it will it will do some interesting things when it starts to dry. Too wet is obviously never good, but wet enough that you can kind of paint on top of water is kind of a neat effect. So just kind of play around. You can always add more water if you want it to kind of run around a little bit more. Again, if you used a washable marker, definitely be careful near your black so that it doesn't make your black marker bleed onto your picture. Going carefully around the eye, and we're just going to fill in with color all of the white parts inside the face. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more water just so that it kind of blends those colors at the edges a little bit more. And there you have it. Now what we're going to do with this now, oh actually I'm going to color in the eye. What we're going to do with this now is we are going to fill in the background with words about yourself, words that describe yourself, things that you like, basketball, swimming, hockey. You can also add just words about yourself, creative, funny, quirky, and then just any kind of personality traits or any sort of interesting things about yourself that you want to add. I filled mine in just with random words about myself, things that I'm interested in. And then you're just going to fill in the whole page around your face and in the background with all of those words, as many as you can think of. Try to fill the whole paper. You can even ask mom or your brother, what words would you use to describe me, so that you can have a few extra words with inspiration from somebody else about yourself. So there you have it. There is your Wonder inspired self-portrait.